Friends, family, subscribers to the Adventuring with the Shooting Gallery of Cochise County. Been putting off working on something until I had more information. Now these pieces here are very delicate. I have a bunch of yellow quartz, rose quartz, all kinds of different quartzes, but they're very, very delicate. You can see they're just a bunch of small crystallizations all clumped together. Well, this is an after on a larger one. And what happens is, I'll show you. They're very delicate, so we have to be very careful. But what we want to do is just take this very gentle wheel that I have, no liquid, no compound, no anything. We're going to start with this guy right here, okay? It's a pretty good sized piece. It's got some calcite and some stuff holding it together. The interesting stuff, though, is all those shiny crystals. So what we're going to do is take this and very gently take the Dremel. I apologize for the sound. And we're just going to lightly brush it just to put a little shine on some of those. Now, one I did earlier fairly came apart, so we're going to try not to do that. Let's see what happens. It's really tough because you're trying to get into those little nooks and crannies. Because like I said, it's a whole bunch of crystallized minerals that are barely held together with this other stuff. So what we're trying to do is put a little shine and make more visible the natural facets that are in these. And all you really have to do is just barely touch them, and they really come alive. But I'm serious, if you put just the tiniest little bit of too much extra pressure on them, they come apart, and they don't do it nicely. It's not a shower, but it certainly gets your attention. And you just don't want that to happen. Now, I tried using a little compound earlier on one, and it just gummed up the whole works. Gummed up the brush, gummed up the piece. So it's back in the vinegar solution soaking. Hopefully all that stuff is going to come back off. One of the difficult parts is you can easily see the crystallized portion. But because of all the different heights and other pieces right next to it and what have you, I'm finding it very difficult, even with a Dremel, which is a small profile tool, to really get in there and really hit the different facets and try to make a big change. And of course, I'm a somewhat impatient individual by nature, so I want to get in there and, make the whole thing beautiful all at once. And I'm learning as I'm going through this process of shaping and polishing and finishing that patience is the biggest tool you can have. I don't normally possess much of that, but I'm trying, because when you see the end result of these pieces and how beautiful they are, it's really quite something. And of course, I'm learning more every day. And one of the things I recently learned was that Cochise County and Arizona as a whole is ranked somewhere I'm going to say top 10 in the world. Some people say top 5. Somebody said once it's the best in the West. I don't have any doubt at all that what we're talking about puts Arizona easily and squarely in the top 10 world. And that is for found gems, minerals, and crystals just laying all over the ground. There's spots you go out in the desert, and I'm not kidding you. This last time Tim and I went out, specifically looking for quartz. Now see that, it just came apart a little bit. Trying to go a little bit deeper, and that's a danger you face. But as I was saying, Tim and I went out, and we literally walked no further than 20 feet from his Jeep, and we filled, you know those little plastic convenience bags you get at convenience stores? We filled 4 of those with nothing but quartz, a few pieces of red jasper. But you can see this has been just some gentle working over the span. And again, I apologize for the loud noise, but this has been just gently working it with this wire brush. And now you can see we have all kinds of now visibly polished facets. Trying to get it where you can really see it. There you go. It really, I mean, it just shines all over now. It sparkles, just comes alive. And some of it came apart. There's this big wing that's hanging off right here, and I don't want to go in there too much. It's got some interesting stuff though. Here is a nice piece that has a definitive black line. Well, it might not be black, might be silver. Anyway, there's a line right here straight through that facet. And these are cleaning up really, really well. I'm liking where we're going with this. I have this one that has a fairly flat base. I might try to tighten that up just so it'll be more of a natural stand. But this thing is just full of crystal, quartz. It's just beautiful. There's some little pink stuff right here and here, but the rest of this is, it's not clear, but it's more of a smoky. But I think this is going to be a nice piece. I'm going to bring this down nice and flat. You can see that. And then this end, probably shape it a little bit. And this one, but the rest of it, maybe this side as well. But the rest of it, I'm just going to lightly touch with this brush. I think it'll come out great. But the piece de resistance that we've pulled out of the vinegar already is this big rascal. This thing, I don't know if you can see it, how well you can see it, but it's just loaded with up and down crystals like this all over. There's a couple of ribbons here. There's some darker stuff all on this bottom, but this up here is just junk. This is holding it all together. And then there's this top crown piece that is a piece of smoky quartz in the center with some other stuff that may or may not come alive once I start playing with it. And then it's got a fairly almost flat base. I'll probably tighten this up a little bit and then just hit it gently and see where it goes. Here's another piece that's in the queue to start working. This is truly, this is already right out of the ground, as smooth as glass on this face. You can see that glimpse. It's beautiful. The rest of it, here's another facet. So straight, 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 and all these flat faceted areas are just absolutely finished. They're just as smooth as glass. So I might straighten it up a little bit, give it some shape. This side here for a facet's kind of wompy. With a facet here and another one here, I would try to take this point of facet and carry it up through here on this new part, and then carry that facet up and over that shoulder to see what happens. This one looks like this piece right here is going to break off the top of that facet maybe. But again, you got to be very gentle with this stuff, not try to rush through it. And then one of my neighbors brought me by. She has a big clear Arkansas quartz crystal. It's like yay long, perfectly faceted all the way around. I guess her kids got to messing with it, and this broke off. And so that's the natural quartz side right there. Already, these are already part of facets. And so's this top. There's this center one that comes up to a point off of this one. Then there's one that on the left and one on the right. So I'm probably going to just tighten those up and then repolish it, and you'll end up with a beautiful pendant. If you really look at these pieces, they'll kind of show you where they want to be. This one is really cool. It's got this whole top crown of sparkly quartz. Then it's got a vein here running all the way through to the other side. So I thought, why don't I cut this in the shape to match this one and end up with a piece that has this river running through it. I think that's going to be kind of neat. So, just work them, have fun with them, see what you can come up with. Remember to wear your safety glasses and have fun. Oh, the black onyx from yesterday, I just couldn't resist it and started putting a polish on it. This thing is amazing. This whole corner is smoky quartz. And it is starting to pull a polish out of here that is just, quite frankly, extraordinary. This thing is going to be so deep, lustrous, and black when it's finished. I'm really looking forward to that. Here's an interesting one for Valentine's Day I'm going to do. This is a rose quartz. Slowly coming together. Quartz is a lot harder, by the way, than other things. But I'm going to kind of shape this one into the form of a kind of a lopsided, playful heart. See what that comes out as. Anyways, stay with it. Have a lot of fun. Be careful. More to follow.